of Life. Monty Python's Meaning of Life. I think I need to rewatch Holy Grail, because I remember not liking that one too much. But I also watched it like 4 years ago, so maybe I just didn't understand it. What I'm saying is that Meaning of Life was goofy, charming, and the music was really fun. It wasn't amazing. There were slow parts and the jokes were just kind of but overall not bad. The reason I bring up Holy Grail is I think being older, I might like it again. But for Meaning of Life, 3.5 out of 5. Mercury Rising. Bruce Willis is an FBI agent, has to protect an autistic kid because the autistic kid debunked this life-saving code that is impossible to crack. It's a really far-fetched story, and you know what? I like it. It's fun, enjoyable, and it's also believable, you know? Like, I'm watching, I'm thinking, like, yeah, this could happen, despite it being a really weird plot. Movies need that form of realism to kind of suck you in. And even though it felt real, it was also just a basic Bruce Willis action movie. But I liked it. 3.5 out of 5. Midnight Run. This one I definitely would like to rewatch in the near future. The beginning of the movie, it just feels like it's gonna be a cheesy, action movie with Robert De Niro. And it is. But it's also just a really genuinely fun action movie. De Niro was great as usual, and same with everyone else. It's on the fence of a 3.5 and a 4, but I feel like I can be too harsh sometimes. So, and considering that I did enjoy it, 4 out of 5. Missing in Action. This kind of reminded me like that one movie that we watched this year. A couple movies this year. It was like a bit of Dirty Harry and, I had something in mind. I honestly can't think of it. Basically, things happen, and that's about it. Chuck Norris is there. Here's something. So I was thinking of a bit to say for this movie review, and it goes like this, right? This is a Canon Group movie. That's the studio, right? Whenever I think of Canon, I think of RoboCop. This is not RoboCop. Pretty good, right? Well, then I did a little bit of research, and I found out that RoboCop isn't even a Canon Pictures. It's Orion, so I'm just an idiot. The logos don't even look the same. What were we talking about? Oh, the movie, right. Yeah, 2 out of 5. Money Pit. God damn it. Have you ever seen Funny Farm? I don't know why I always ask these questions, because you probably haven't anyways. The movie is like Funny Farm, but despite it being 80% slapstick and 20% divorce case, it was good. 3.5 out of 5. Mummy 1932. It was alright. I don't know. It's like Dracula again, where I was expecting a big crazy thing with them being in Egypt, but they just visit there for like 20 minutes and the rest is just not in Egypt. In fact, it's exactly like Dracula, like the same exact movie, just without Dracula and replaced with a mummy. The main antagonist hypnotizes the person and then other people get paranoid. I wish there was more Mummy too, like funny mumbling man wrapped in toilet paper, but I don't know. It's just a repeat of Dracula basically, and nothing too special. 3 out of 5. Mummy 1959. The only plus I have to give this remake is that there actually is the funny toilet paper man. Other than that, we had a history lesson on mummification and Christopher Lee with a couple other boring characters. Not terrible, and the costume design was very impressive, but I probably wouldn't rewatch it. 3 out of 5.
Scrotum cheeks. Bug sucking booger. You're gonna regret this. Darn
Murphy's Law. Very basic. Like, very basic. But also incredibly stupid. The girl sidekick person was insane. Like, insane, saying the most unique insults I've ever heard in my life.
Suck a doorknob, you homo.
Charles Bronson is fine, as usual. And the best part of the whole movie is probably the climax. It reaches the level of so bad it's good, but it's still kind of mediocre.
You gotta help!
Ladies first.
Insert line from when he kicks the girl off the balcony. I forgot what it was, but 3 out of 5. My Blue Heaven. So, fun fact. This came out the same year as Goodfellas. And by technicality, Goodfellas is actually a prequel because Goodfellas came out after My Blue Heaven. Just by a month, but whatever. And it's a prequel because this is a comedy that is based off of Henry Hill's life. And let me tell you, it is surreal. It starts off with the same looking neighborhood that was at the end of Goodfellas, and it feels like a continuation for about 10 minutes. I was literally looking at the TV like I was amazed. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm about to see what happens. And then reality kicks in, and you realize you're just watching a goofy little mob comedy. It's not good or even funny for that matter. It's really just a Steve Martin doing a Dan Aykroyd Chicago impression. But it's a sweet movie, I guess. 3.5 out of 5.
Who are you, Jack?
Who am I? Who am I? I'll tell you who I am. I'm
Joker, baby!
The Net. Sandra Bullock talks like a piece of shit in this movie. I guess under the situation her character is in, it's understandable, but it's so annoying. The story itself was a cool idea, and it was thrilling, but it was boring, and it could have been so much better. It's in the same boat as, funny enough, Antitrust, where it tries too hard to be something that ends up being nothing, except The Net is worse. 2 out of 5. Night of the Living Dead remake. I've seen the original before, but I don't think I remember it too much, so I'm going to base this review on just the remake itself. I'm not going to be comparing the two movies side by side, because I don't think it's fair since I don't remember the original. Anyways, well, this is just a preference, but this is not my kind of horror movie. What should make this movie scary is that they're trapped, they can't do anything except to survive, but it wasn't too scary, and also no blood. That's a very minor critique, but it's more like a bonus if it has head explosions, and it did not. The acting was great, and I appreciated it. It started like literally straight into the action, like no hesitation. And the ending I enjoyed. It did make me want to rewatch Dawn of the Dead or Shaun of the Dead. Those are two very good movies. 3 out of 5. Nixon. For any of the Blitzwich fans out there, in the Blitzwich lore video, A-Hole, the whole editing was just a mess. You know, like I tried to make it seem like a little cinematic, but truthfully, it's just a bunch of random footage I jammed together. That is this whole movie. Like, there'll be scenes where I don't know. There was a scene where Nixon was talking in the Oval Office or something, and just flowers. Flowers are just going in and out of like footage of flowers blooming are going in and out of cutting in between them, like having dialogue. And it I don't know. It reminded me of A-Hole a lot. Anyways, it's a mess. Directed by Oliver Stone, who did the JFK movie. Well, it's definitely not as entertaining as JFK. Nixon focuses more on the life and running of presidency rather than the conspiracy. I think JFK worked a lot better because we're not following JFK's life. We're just following someone else's opinion on this or that. But Nixon, the protagonist is just, well, Nixon. So when they mention the Watergate scandal or whatever other thing Nixon did, you see the personal side of it, but you don't really see the effect on America. And JFK did that bit a bit better. Nixon, you're just sitting there looking at the TV like, yeah, yeah, for 3 hours and then it's over. 3 out of 5. Ocean's 11. What a bore. Oh my god. The remake is an amazing heist movie that I could watch any time of day. But when it comes to the original, the only thing that it's got going for it is that the song Ain't That a Kick in the Head was written for this movie. And of course it has the charming Rat Pack there to give it charm. Listen, when it's cool, it's alright. But when it's boring, which is 90% of it, it is boring. 2 out of 5. Once Upon a Time in the West. Oh, God, I want to like it. But it's just long, and I really don't care for the story. But when it gets good, it gets good. There's a whole revenge plot with this guy, and this guy does this. And the soundtrack is just fantastic. And then there's the whole, like, final showdown. And my main takeaway is I liked it better than Once Upon a Time in America, which is funny, considering that I like Fievel Goes West more than I do An American Tale. And also, I just really want to rewatch Good, Bad, and the Ugly, because that's a good cowboy. That's a good cowboy. 3 out of 5. And I guess that's the movie. I thought there were more movies in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Never mind. That's still a lot of movies. Well, that was September. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Next month I'm going insane. I'm just going to list off, I don't want to list them off, but we're starting right after, I'm looking at my shelf right now, we're starting right after Once Upon a Time, and we're starting with Mel Gibson's Payback for October, and I'm gonna try to go as far as Saturday Night Fever. Actually, maybe Scalpel. Actually, maybe because it is October, so maybe Scary Movie 2. But it's kind of, you know, if you're looking on a list, it's like, okay, whatever. You know, he's doing like 3 extra movies. But we finally got to Pink Panther, and there is a lot of Pink Panther movies. I didn't know that, but obviously I'm not watching every single one, but there's like 3 before I have to get to my Pink Panther movies. So that means I'm adding on another 3 movies, which is just insane. So, sorry, I have to go poop. Next month, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, plus the Pink Panther movies. So let's just call it an even 20. Next month is going to be crazy. Anyways, alright. Bye-bye.